How's it going, everybody? I'm Dom of X, comicreleases.com assistant editor, and today it is that time of the month again to talk about all the books that got pushed, so let's go ahead and do it. Alright, folks, the first one that we got going on here is Alien Romulus, issue number 1. This is the prequel to the hit blockbuster film Alien Romulus, as indicated. This is coming out now on the 23rd of October instead of the 16th of October of this year. Next up, we got the Star Wars Battle of Jakku Insurgency Rising. This is the one of the books of the post Star Wars Episode 6 era that is being publicly displayed in the comics. This is also specifically only for this variant. The Sabatini variant is now coming out on the 23rd of October instead of the 16th of October. Next up, we got Fantastic Four by Grant Morrison and Jay Lee. Of course, this is F41234. This is the new printing, which is now coming out on the 3rd of June instead of the 10th of June. Next up, we got Fantastic Four by Wade and Riringo. Imaginauts, the beginning to the legendary run of this specific Fantastic Four crew, coming out now on the 4th of March instead of the 25th, and there is a whole slew of Fantastic Four books because, as you guys might know, there is a movie that is also going to be based on the Fantastic, or not based on, but adapting the Fantastic Four. Next up, we got Fantastic Four Grand Design, trade paperback, now coming out on the 11th of February of next year instead of the 18th of February of next year. Next up, we got Fantastic Four Fate of the Four by Chip Zdarsky, Jim Chung, Ramon Perez, and Valerio Schiti, which is now coming out on the 1st of April, I should say. 1st of April of next year. That is not an April Fool's joke, instead of the 20th of May. Up next, we got Captain America by J. Michael Straczynski, the current ongoing Captain America run, coming out now on the 20th of May instead of the 6th of May. Next up, we got Ultimate Black Panther by Brian Edward Hill, Volume 2 trade paperback, now coming out on the 8th of April instead of the 1st of April. Up next, we got Ultimate X-Men by Peach Momoko, Volume number 2 trade paperback, coming out now on the 27th of May of next year instead of the 6th of May of next year. Next up, we got Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 trade paperback. This is now coming out on the 15th of April instead of the 1st of April. This is the Gail Simone, David Marquez run of the classic, yes, the classic team of Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, and Jubilee, and Nightcrawler all teaming up together. Next up, we got Spider-Boy Volume 3 by Dan Slott. This is now coming out on the 15th of April instead of the 6th of May of next year. So this is a push forward instead of a push back. Next up, we got Fantastic Four by Ryan North, which I believe is titled Aliens and Alternate Dimensions. This is now coming out on the 15th of April instead of the 22nd of April, so a push forward for this book. Up next, we got Giant Size X-Men tribute to Len Wein and David Cockrum. Trade paperback. This is a collection of a reprint of the issue of Giant Size X-Men where it was redrawn by plenty of different artists in their style, as again, this is a tribute to Giant Size X-Men number 1, coming out next year on the 27th of May instead of the 13th of May. Next up, we got Fantastic Four Epic Collection More Things Change trade paperback, coming out on the 13th of May instead of the 6th of May for this Epic Collection. And last but not least, for the big ones, this is Strange Academy Omnibus hardcover being pushed to the 20th of May instead of the 6th of May. Alright, now let's go ahead and go on to the hybrid price changes along with a release date change. Miles Morales Spider-Man by Cody Ziegler, Volume 6. This is the current run of MMSM, of course, for the big web slinger himself, coming out now on the 13th of May instead of the 17th of June at $15.99 instead of $19.99 USD for those wondering. Up next, we got Amazing Spider-Man Volume 12 by Mr. Zeb Wells and Ed McGuinness and John Romita Jr. and the rest of the gang. $29.99 instead of $24.99, still coming out next year on the 25th of February. Up next, we got Spider-Man Reign 2. This is the sequel to Yes, that story, Spider-Man Reign, $17.99 instead of $15.99 for the Kara Andrews sequel to Spider-Man Reign. Up next, we got The Dazzler by Jason Liu. This is part of the From the Ashes line of X-Men comics, $17.99 instead of $15.99, coming out next year on the 10th of June. And last but not least is a DC trade paperback, Push Forward, which is now $19.99 instead of $17.99 for Absolute Power Task Force 7. Task Force 7 is a tie-in to Absolute Power, which is dealing with the team that Failsafe has made in light of the DC Universe going under amok, and the rest of the DC Universe and different aspects of them are touched on by a bunch of creators in this specific miniseries, and this is going to be covered by a whole different amount of writers, whole different amount of characters, and that is it for the release date updates. But I do have one thing to let you guys know about. Alright, y'all, just wanted to let you know that the master list for comic releases has been updated, and if you guys again don't know, like I mentioned in every video, I am the assistant editor of this site, and pretty much what it is a nice all-in-one spreadsheet for every single big thick book that you can think about in its existence, and the format, the publisher, the dates of them. This is all up to the date as I am talking about right now in this video. And the cool thing about this is we just updated it with a lot of the recent books and slated out from both DC and Marvel. The biggest books that we got in for DC is, if I can find it here, is none other than Tom Taylor's Nightwing is now able to be tracked. Again, you do need the Patreon to get access, but once you do have the Patreon, which is only $2 a month, which helps me out and which also helps the site run and etc., this is specifically going to let you track individually what books it is that you're looking for, and on the watch list you get to put in the tracking information, where you bought it from, have you read it yet, is it big on your priority list, and any fields. Just like let us know if there are any fields that you want added in there as well. We also just added the Authority Omnibus Volume 2. We also added the Superman by none other than Philip Kennedy Johnson here to the watch list as well, which collects all of those. Again, everything is there, everything is up to the date. So I just wanted to let you all know about this, and if you would like to help us out, the Patreon is only $2 a month, which helps us out very much. But that's going to be it for me. I'm Dom of X. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and click on that notification bell so you know every single time a comic's been pushed back. Anything that comes out of the sort for news for DC or Marvel, I will be there to talk about it. But that's going to be it for me. I'm Dom of X. You be you, take care, and dominate the day wherever you are.